Hello and welcome to the Stick Tap Sports Network. I Today I'm going to be playing some Superstar Baseball. This is the Phil Graham um, edition that I downloaded from the Delphi Sports or Delphi forums. I think it was last year sometime. Um, just to kind of give you a lowdown on the game if you're not familiar with it. You might be familiar with another iteration of this game, which is Sports Illustrated Baseball. That's the game that features the team charts with the players individually broken out onto the chart. What this version does differently, and I think also I should say the original Superstar Baseball, or at least the flat box version. I might be wrong about this, but I got the flat box version. I want to say it was like 1978 when I was a wee lad, and it featured a lot of I think 96 players, just a lot of Hall of Famers, some current players, if I recall correctly, like guys like Pete Rose, and I think Joe Morgan was part of that, Reggie Jackson, um, probably a few others that are just escaping my memory here. But so what I'm going to do is kind of give a little bit of a not necessarily a tutorial, but just kind of like how I play this game. I downloaded the Philgram version a while back. Like I said, I think it was a year ago. It comes as a PDF, 579 pages worth of, or 579 page PDF, and it's got players, batter cards, and pitcher cards. These are some of the all-time all-stars for the Arizona Diamondbacks. What I'm doing is I've taken the 30 teams that were included, all-time all-stars, actually 32, because there's two Negro League teams, the Lincoln Giants, the New York Lincoln Giants. Sorry, I was drawing a blank there, and also the Homestead Grays. So it's 32 teams, and what I did was I created a 32 team um, tournament patterned after the format that's used in the World Cup. So I broke it out amongst 8 teams. I'm sorry, 8 groups, 4 teams each, as you'll see here. So that's just kind of the long and short of what the tournament is. Once I finish group play, every team plays the other team twice in their group, and the top 2 teams will advance to a round of 16. And from there, we'll start doing like a series of. I haven't decided what it's going to be. It might be a first round, might be a best 3 of 5, and then from there it'll go to four out of 7, the remainder of the way. Um, so just kind of give you an idea of what that looks like. But as far as the gameplay is concerned, if you do recall, or if you have seen the uh, the the Sports Illustrated Baseball, then this will be this will make sense. You'll see that it's basically the same. It's the same game, except instead of charts, you're dealing with player cards, individual player cards. So even the rules that I downloaded with the Philgram version uh, include both the Superstar Baseball and the Sports Illustrated Baseball um, symbols that are found on either the charts or the cards. So the similarities are pretty distinct. Actually, they translate um, accurately. So so you can play with either you can play either game with these rules, and it'll play the way it's supposed to play. Um, Not too complicated as far as how the game works. Um, Pretty straightforward, actually. You do have some strategy elements. You do have the ability to steal bases, ability to take extra bases, bunting, squeeze bunts. Defense factors into the game, based upon the rating of the team. It's a team rating for defense, not individual. Although individual cards are rated, it's a cumulative to determine how that's going to either benefit or detract from the team's play in the field. Um, this version also includes hit and run. Um, so I don't think that was something that was part of Superstar Baseball at the outset. Um, so yeah, the download comes with the charts, comes with a field so you can place your cards on. I don't do that. And also score sheet. So it's kind of the basics there. Now, as far as the cards are concerned, what I've done is I took JPEG images of pitcher and batter. And as you can see here, um, here's what the batter card looks like. That's Ty Cobb, that's Danny McClain. Um, so what and how this would work is you have dice, and I'll tell you about the dice real quick. There's 3 dice, and these can be found. I understand you can still find these on eBay. You can also make these using dice rollers. I've created my own dice roller to do that. But the dice for this, there's 3 dice that are rolled. For you roll on the pitcher's card first, and then if the pitcher card is looks like. So you have 3 dice, and you're going to roll them, and it's going to give you a total number of from 10 to 39. What you do is you read off of the pitcher's card, and if the field is empty, then that means you go to the batter's card to determine what the outcome of the play is going to be. So it is there is a pitcher batter interface that takes place there. And depending upon the strength of the pitcher, you might find more strategically placed, out results or strikeouts, for example. Um, in some cases, you might find walks in that position, or just an open space, and you're going to be leaning on or reading off of the batter's card more often. Um, the 3 dice, back to the 3 dice. There's 3 of them. There's a black die, and there's 2 orange dice or yellow dice. And um, on the black die, these are all 6-sided, by the way. You have the occurrence of a 1 occurs 1 time, 2 twice, and 3 times. So automatically or quickly you see that the 30 is going to be coming up more often than 20s or teens. And then the other 2 dice, one is going to have a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. And the other dice is going to have a 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so what that curve looks like as far as probability coming up, what the percentage of that probability is you can see that something like 33, 34, 34, 35 are going to come up the most often. So in this case, in the pitcher's card, these are open. And on the batter like Ty Cobb, you're going to find singles. Some other batters, you'll see Harry Heilman, yeah, you get singles, but then 35 results in outs. And also, this does take into consideration left and right splits, lefty righty splits. So, um, and Norm Cash, he's going to strike out against a lefty on a 34. He's going to ground out right against a righty, and on 35 he's going to strike out. So, it varies depending upon, and it's all based on how the dice come up and how that batter performed or how that pitcher performed in real life or over their career, I should say, because these are I don't think these are taken from one specific season. I think it's taken over kind of an average of I think 5 seasons or 5 of their best seasons. I may or may not have that correct. So that's kind of how that works. So what I did was I created my own sort of helper using Excel, and I combine the dice here. So when I play the game, I'm going to click this button, and it's going to. I have it clicked 3 times, so I know like the actual roll took place. Because sometimes with Excel, you might press the button and nothing changes. And you're like, well, did they come up the same, or did that actually roll or engage? So that's what I do. So, and you can see that it's going to be coming up anywhere from 10 to 39. And I set it up also so that it corresponds with the probability that you see on this sheet here. So it does follow that probability, as opposed to, it's not just a straight, well, either a 10 or, there's no, eh, they're not going to occur equally like the dice intend. So that is that. The helper for me also does automate some things. I like to kind of let the game kind of flow as it goes. I don't like to manage every aspect of the game. So things like stealing bases, I do have kind of something that's going to say, okay, the batter got a lead or they didn't get a lead. There's a chance, that, oh, an A batter might bunt in this case as opposed to a B batter, or it might just be a pitcher rated A or B. I just set it up so that it lends some randomness, and you're going to see, a runner take in a base when maybe you normally wouldn't do that, or you think that wouldn't happen. But that's baseball, though, right? I mean, sometimes, I don't like to manage it perfect, not necessarily perfectly, but not say, oh, well, we never run on this in this situation. Well, sometimes that happens. So I like that I kind of have built in a little bit of randomness to that. But I will say there are certain circumstances where I won't consult it. Yeah, I won't consult it. I often am not going to take third base if it's a decision with nobody out. So, or I'm not going to try and score with nobody out from second or first. Um, just things like that I've built in that are automatic. But outside of that, I do have a a system that helps to kind of create those, or to make the decision for me. So enough of that. Why don't we go ahead and play a little bit baseball here? Okay, so first thing, let's take a look at defense here, because I mentioned that it's a cumulative number. So I imported the ratings into Digital Diamond. This is the, the board game companion that I use for all my projects. Um, so I've included the number on the defensive, on the player in the field, so you can see the number. So Bench is a 14, Klazuski is a 4, Murray's a 13, so it's 18, it's 31, Larkin's a 9, so that's 40, Perez a 0, Foster a 4, that's 44, Davis 2, and Frank Robinson 61. So what that means, that's they're 61. They, on the pitcher's card, and let me get this larger here, on the pitcher's card, between 10 and 15, these are potentially automatic outs. And it's dependent upon the rating of the defense, the combined rating of the defense. In this case, the Reds have a total of 61 in the field. It means that on dice rolls of 11, 13, and 14, those have become automatic outs. Those are ground outs based on the game. As I mentioned in the helper that I have it set up so that it tells me who the ball is hit to, so I can assign it to who it was hit to. Um, so yeah, so that's how that works. So we're ready to get started. And for the Tigers, so this is going to be a game against the Detroit, or pitting the Detroit Tigers and the Cincinnati Reds. Once again, as I mentioned, these are all-time all-stars, so you may see some players on the field that you may not expect, and you may see some that, or may not see some that you would expect. But it is, as I mentioned, these are all-timers, so yeah, not everyone's going to get to play. Um, but the lineup for the Detroit Tigers is going to be Ty Cobb batting first, Harry Heilman batting second, Norm Cash batting third, Hank Greenberg batting fourth, Al Kaline fifth, Miguel Cabrera sixth, Charlie Gehringer seventh, Alan Trammell eighth, and Bill Freehan doing the catching and batting ninth. And for the Reds, you have Jose Rijo on the mound. Um, and why don't we just go ahead and get started? And the dice rolls will be taking place off screen here on the helper. Tell you what they are. And the first pitch is a 30. The roll's a 39, so that's going to open space for Jose Rijo. And so we go down to the batter's card, check the righty column. The dice roll is 34, and that is going to be a strikeout. So Larkin goes down swinging to start the game. I'm sorry. Wait, it's supposed to be Ty Cobb. Let's get Cobb there because we know a 34, as I showed earlier, is going to be a base hit. So that's actually that last play. And base hit for Ty Cobb. Cobb continues his good start to this tournament. That'll bring up Harry Heilman, runner on first. We'll check and see if there's any action on the bases. And I have this set to no. Nothing happens with Cobb, so the pitch from Rio is a 34. It's open. 36 for Heilman is going to be a fly ball hit into left field. Fairly deep, but that's an SF does not mean, that means a runner would score from third, but that means Cobb stays at first base. So it's going to bring up Cash, runner on first, nobody out. And so let's see. Now, one thing also about stealing bases, just it's not going to happen here, but Cobb is rated as a 5 runner. So that's what you use to determine the base runner's ability to steal a base. Also to advance and take an extra base. Let's say if it's a manager's decision to tag up or to take an extra base, that is the number you use. There's no defensive rating that's going to impact that run rating, with the exception of the catcher. And as you see, Johnny Bench here, he has this I here. And if I pull up his card real quick, you will see it on his card as well. He's a plus 14 catcher, and that I means you will deduct 1 from the base runner's run rating. So if or if Cobb were to try and steal, instead of going at a 5, he would be going at a 4. So if that makes sense. In this case, there is not going to be an attempt to steal, but there is going to be a hit and run attempt. So the roll is 36. So we're going to take a look at the hit and run chart here in a second, but it's a 36 here, and so you go based off of the result. So it's open 36. 11 on the batter's card is MS. So we take a look at the chart, and that's going to tell us the result off the batter's card. MS, batter out, runner on third scores. Others may use manager's decision to advance a base. In this case, Cobb is not going to tag up. So it's hit to right field, and Frank Robinson's going to make the play, and that's 2 outs. Cobb gets back just in time to beat the throw from Robinson in the first. So that brings up Hank Greenberg. And let's see here. 35 is open. 23 is another fly out, SF, fly out to right, and that's going to end the inning. So the Tigers waste a leadoff single by Ty Cobb. And I'll bring up the Cincinnati Reds. Mickey Lulich is on the mound for the Tigers, and he'll be facing a lineup of leadoff batter being Barry Larkin, batting second, Tony Perez, batting third, Joe Morgan, batting fourth, Eric Davis, batting fifth, Ted Kluszewski, batting sixth is Frank Robinson, batting seventh is George Foster, batting eighth is Johnny Bench, and in the ninth position is Joey Votto. Joey Votto batting ninth. Okay, here we go. So Mickey Lulich, the pitch 23, the batter's card 20, or the batter's rolls 26. Now he's a lefty, so that is going to be hit into left field. MS is a fly out. Normally, what that would mean is if a runner was on third, he would score, and if any other runners on base, they can attempt to advance. Tony Perez batting second. The pitch is 17, so that's going to be an open spot. 32 is a G plus against the lefty, and that's going to be grounded back to Lulich, who will fire it to Cash for the second out. And that brings up Joe Morgan. Joe Morgan batting 200. This is the second game of the season. He struck out 4 times in the first game, which the Reds defeated the Tigers. And so, go. 36 on Lulich's card is a strikeout. So Morgan gets caught looking. The first inning comes to an end. And we head to the second with the score tied 0-0. All right. So Al Kaline to lead things off here. Kaline batting 333. Pitch from Jose Rio is 31. It's open. 37 is going to be a base on balls. So Kaline with a good at bat draws the walk, heads down to first. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. On first, nobody out. The pitch is 30 on the pitcher's card. It's empty or an open space. 24 against for Cabrera against a righty is a strikeout. So Cabrera swings and misses, strikes out. It's the first strikeout today for Jose Rio. That brings up Charlie Gehringer, runner on first. 1 out. Pitch 31. So we're going to check the batter's card. 22 against a righty is a base hit, so it's 1+. Now that would mean a runner would score from second. And the runner on first, they just advanced to second. We'll try to take third. So there's something going here. Something going first and second. And 1 out. And Alan Trammell coming to bat. And we are going to see a sacrifice here from Alan Trammell. Let's see, he's going to square to bunt. And he's going to foul off the first 2. So we'll see if the bunt is still on here. And it's not. The next roll is a 38. Now this is an X reading, so that means you consult the, pull it up here, the the X chart. Now there's 2 charts that you can use. There's the standard X chart, which is just going to mean that okay, there's a few things that can happen: wild pitches, pass balls, hit by pitch, um, balk. There's also a rally killer option, which means basically if there's the batter and all the runners on base are out. That occurs on a 19, which is the least likely roll to come up in this game. And then there's the optional X chart, which is what I'm using for this. This also incorporates the potential for injuries. In this case, with a runner on first and second, right? Rolled a 38, and I have that. I have the result automated on this helper here, and the result is going to be balk. So Jose Rio balks. So that's right. It's just and it's gonna advance the runners to third and second and third now. So Tramel's still up there. Rio gets called for a balk, and let's see, second and third, one out. Pitch 25 is open. 14 is going to be a walk. So Trammell draws the walk. Having trouble finding the plate here. A little bit rattled, I think, by the balk that was called, and that's going to bring up Bill Freehan with the bases loaded and one out. Rio trying to get out there and navigate this inning. The pitch 16, so that's going to be off the batter's card at 21, and that's 1D. So what does this mean? That means runners on second and third score. Runner on first can try for third. In this case, we'll check and see the runner is a 2, and he is going to try to advance to third. Let's make sure, yes. Let's check the manager's decision. 1, 2. He is going to be out. So he's thrown out, trying to advance. George Foster. So it's 1, 2 from George Foster. So base hit to left. Kaline and Geringer are going to score, and Trammell gets thrown out, trying to take third. So it's going to be the second out of the inning. But Freehan comes up big with the RBI single. That'll bring up Tom Conlon on first, and 2 outs. And here's the pitch, 32. Open, 23 off of Cobb is going to be lifted into center field. And that was the result. So it's going to be a fly out to the center. And that'll end the top of the second. But the Tigers, 2, and they take a 2-0 lead against the Cincinnati Reds. Reds, it's going to be, who are they sending up? It's going to be Eric Davis, Ted Kluszewski, and Frank Robinson. Okay. So here's the pitch from Lulich, 31. It's going to be off the batter's card. 14 is going to be a ground ball to second. You saw that was a G in this case. Well, it's a ground out, but this automation sends the ground ball to second base. So that brings up Ted Kluszewski. Kluszewski, his first appearance in the tourney. 36 from Lulich is going to be called strike 3. Kluszewski goes down and strikes. That'll bring up Frank Robinson, who was 3 for 5 in the first game with 2 home runs and 4. Lulich looking at. Here's the pitch, 25, 36. It's going to be a ground ball to second. Geringer's there, fields it nicely, fires it to Cash. The Reds are set down 3 down here in the bottom of the second. So we're going to the third. That's going to bring up Harry Heilman. Rio, 2 innings pitched, given up 2 runs on 3 hits. He's walked 2, struck out 1. And the pitch, 24. Be off the batter's card at 32. That's going to be grounded back to Rio. Fire it to first, and Heilman's retired for the second time today. Now Norm Cash, for 1, his first hit of the tournament. 27 is going to be ball 4. Cash draws the walk. Bring up Hank Greenberg. Runner on first, 1 out. Pitch to Greenberg. 33 is going to be called strike 3. Greenberg goes down on strikes. So there's 2 outs. Runner on first. Now Al Kaline coming up to bat. And the pitch, 23, is called strike 3. So Kaline goes down on strikes. And that'll bring up, that'll end the inning. So that ends the top of the third, and we go to the bottom of the third. Score Detroit 2, Cincinnati nothing. And let's go back. Let's bring Lalich up. And George Foster. So it'll be Foster, Bench, and Votto here in the bottom of the third. Reds looking to get on the board. Here's the pitch to Lalich. 24 is off the batter's card, which is a 32. Oh, see, if Foster was hitting against a righty, that's a home run. But against a lefty, that is a strikeout. So swing and a miss, strike 3. Foster goes down on strikes. It's the third strikeout for Mickey Lalich. It's Johnny Bench. Bench is batting .250. A home run and 1 RBI. Pitch from Lalich is called strike 3. Lalich putting away the Reds here in the bottom of the third. It's his 4th strikeout. I'll bring up Joey Votto. Pitch to Votto, 36 again. Struck him out. Votto goes down looking. Let's face the minimum through 3. We head to the 4th. We head to the 4th inning. It's going to be Rio taking the mound again. And something. I need to check the fatigue. He is a 4 decision. So that means he usually can go 7 before he encounters fatigue. And then Lalich. Let's take a look at him quick. 33. So that would be 8 innings. Okay. Alrighty. Rio back up. So Jose Rio to face Miguel Cabrera here, top of the 4th, 2-0 Tigers. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Reds. No runs, no hits, no errors. No drips, no errors. Isn't that what Johnny Bench? He's a Hawk Rust-Oleum. No runs, no drips, no errors. I forget now. Something like that. So here's the roll, 13. So that means it's a D here, but that is one of the Reds' automatic outs. So it's going to be grounded at first. Nice play by Klazuski. He takes it to the bag to retire Cabrera. There's 1 away. Charlie Gehringer, 1 for 1, scored a run in the 2nd inning. Pitch from Rio, 33, is called strike 3. So Gehringer goes down on strikes. That's the 4th strikeout for Jose Rio now. So we go to the, let's see, Alan Trammell up to bat now. 2 outs. Top of the 4th inning. Pitch from Rio, 30. It's going to be off the batter's card at 27, and that is going to be a base hit. So Trammell is on with a single. He's now 1 for 1. Reached base twice. Now Bill Freehan, who's 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs. Single is the difference in the game so far. So runner on first. 2 outs. The pitch is 12. And that's not going to be one of the automatic outs for the Reds. So we look at the batter's roll, which is a 21. And for Freehan, it's 1D. And with 2 outs, Trammell could try to go to third, but we're not gonna. That's one of the built-in advancement. Don't take third or try to take third with 2 outs if it's a decision. So that means Trammell will stay at second, or we'll go to second, and we'll go back to the top of the order and tie Cobb. So first and second, Cobb is 1 for 2 today. He's off to a good start in this tournament, hitting .667 with a stolen base. First and second, 2 outs. And the pitch 35 is going to be off the batter's card at 21. And that's going to be lifted into center field. Team play for Davis. He's there. He makes the catch. And the inning is over. So Rio gets out of the jam. We head to the bottom of the fourth. To score Detroit 2, Cincinnati nothing. For the Reds, it's going to be back to the top of the order, and Larkin, Perez, and Morgan. Pitch from Lalich is a 12. It's going to miss one of the. That's going to miss one of Detroit's auto outs. Wait a minute. Is it? Let's make sure. I don't even know if I added up their stuff. I know we haven't looked at any auto outs for them. So let's see. 11, 16, 39, 38, 39, and 14 is 53. Let's see, 53 is 11, 12, 13. So that is an automatic out. So Larkin back to the pitcher. Lalich underhands it to Cash for the first out of the fourth. That brings up Tony Perez. Pitch to Perez. 33 is going to be ball four. Lalich might have gotten squeezed there a little bit by the umpire. That'll bring up Joe Morgan now. So the Reds with their first base runner on first, nobody out, or 1 out, as Joe Morgan steps into bat. And we might see a little hit and run action here for the Reds. Ooh, so the roll's 19, and it's wild pitch. I don't know what this is going to mean here. Let's see. Probably wild pitch. Check the wild pitch. Runners advance 2 bases. Wow. So he was off with the pitch Morgan was, and he winds up taking. Let's see. How am I going to do that? And Perez is going to go to third. So I'm just going to do a, let's see here. I had to consult the board commands chart to see how that would be input, and it's simple. It's just wild pitch with 2 asterisks, meaning 2 base. He advances 2 bases. So on that play, we had a wild pitch by Lalich. The hit and run was on. Morgan swung and missed, but the ball gets away from Freehan, and Perez was off with the pitch, takes third, takes second, and then takes third on the wild pitch. So Reds now with a runner on third base, with 1 out. Morgan still at the plate. It's interesting. I never had that happen before. So let's see what happens now. Here's the pitch. 14. And their auto outs are 11, 12, 13. So we're going to look at the batter's card. 32 is FM. So FM is going to be runner on third scores. So it's a fly out to right field, sacrifice fly. That's going to score Perez. And Morgan is able to get the runner home with the sacrifice fly. And that's going to bring up Eric Davis now with 2 outs and nobody on. 2-1. Reds have cut the Tigers' lead in half. And the pitch, 25, is going to be off the batter's card, which is a 23. And that is going to be grounded to second. Gehringer is up with it, fires it to Cash. The inning's over. So we're heading to the fifth. Score 2. The Tigers 2, the Cincinnati Reds 1. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so Harry Heilman, 0 for 2 today. He has flied out to left and grounded back to the pitcher. Pitch 35, be off the batter's card. 22 is a walk. So Rio, his 4th walk of the game. That's going to bring up Norm Cash now. Runner on first, nobody out in the top of the 5th. Pitch is 29, so that's going to be right off the batter's card at 33. And Norm Cash is going to take Jose Rio deep. So he hits it to deep left field. This ball is gone. George Foster had no chance getting that one. And the Tigers tack on 2, and they now lead 4-1. And that's going to bring up Hank Greenberg. Let's see here. Okay. So Greenberg coming up with nobody out here. Top of the 5th. 4-1. Detroit 35. It's going to be right off the batter's card. So 13, and there is another walk. So Rijo is going to bring up K-line. K-line 33 is going to be called strike 3. Al K-line goes down on strikes. Bring up Miguel Cabrera, runner on first, 1 out. And pitch 22. So batter's roll is a 30. Off the batter's card is going to be grounded to third. So G with a runner on first is going to be the runner on. A G with a runner on first means that the play is going to be a force out at second. So G5-4. So Perez to Morgan. That erases Greenberg. Cabrera's on with the fielder's choice. And that'll bring up Charlie Gehringer. 1 for 2. 2 outs here. The pitch 25. So it's going to be off the batter's card at 34. And that's going to be swung on and missed. Strike 3. Gehringer goes down for the second time. Strikes. That'll end the 5th. But the Tigers, on the 2-run blast by Cash, now have a 4-1 lead over the Cincinnati Reds. So Lalich is going to come back out there. He's pitched a good game so far. He's given up 1 run on no hits and no errors. Took a walk, a wild pitch that Perez advanced 2 bases on, and then Joe Morgan's sac fly. It's been all the offense for the Reds today. So Klazuski now stepping in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch is 34. So reading off the batter's card at 21, and that is going to be a base hit. So there's the first hit of the game for the Cincinnati Reds. That's going to bring up Frank Robinson. Robinson, who with one swing could Reds right back in this game, steps up, batting from the right side, got a runner on first, nobody out. And the pitch, 28. So that's going to be a automatic out. It's a fly ball to left field. Heilman's there, makes the catch, and Robinson's retired. George Foster. Pitch to Foster is a 14. That's going to be outside of, that's not going to be an automatic out. So 24 to Foster is a base hit, a 1A. So that means the runner on first advances 2 bases. So you got runners on first and third, 1 out. Johnny Bench coming to bat. Lulich kind of in his first bit of trouble here in the game. Be facing Bench here, first and third, 1 out. And 38, so it's going to be one of these the X chart plays, and it's going to be an injury. So let's see what the play is first, and then we'll consult the injury chart. The play is 26. That's going to be off the batter's card, which is an 11. So that's going to be an F. Oh, no, Lulich is an L. So this is going to be a double. So 2M. Runner on first can try to score. Will Foster try to score? He's a 1. He is not going to try to score. So we get a double. That's going to score Klazuski. Bench is on second, Foster at third. And on the injury chart, it's going to be on the left fielder, Heilman, and only for the duration of this game. Okay, so now Heilman's going to have to come out from left field. Oops. So let's see here. Defense. And take a look at who we want here. Be Crawford or Gibson looks like who we would bring in. So let's take a look. Both are lefties. Okay. Now in this game, batters are rated outfield or center field. So if they're rated for outfield, that means they can play left or right. In this case, Gibson is going to be coming in. Salmon. Let me just make that change. Go. And Gibson in for Gibson in for Heilman. So he goes into the second spot. He's going to be playing left. Okay. So he is a 3. How does this affect the defense? Let's see. It's 11, 16, 39, 38, 142, 56. 56 on defense. It's an upgrade. They're now 11, 12, and 14. Okay. So it's now 4-2. The tying run is on second, and Lalich to face Joey Votto. The pitch, 28, is going to be lifted into left field. This is not going to be deep enough to get the runner home. And Votto flies out to left, so he's now 0 for 2 in the game. And that's going to bring up Barry Larkin. Larkin looking for base hit, could potentially tie the game here. 2 outs, bottom of the fifth. Runners on second and third. Here's the pitch, 33, ball four. Lalich walks him. So now the bases are loaded for Tony Perez. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Looking to get Lalich through this inning. Here's the pitch, 38. He's going to be called for a balk. I think that's the second, or no, that was Rio that got called for. Wow, I don't think I ever had 2 balks in the same game. That makes it now a 4-3 game. With a second and third with 2 outs. It's a 37. So 31 off the batter's card is going to be popped up in the infield. Freehan is calling for it, and he will make the catch. The Reds get to within a run again. Now we've played 6. Heading to, let's see, it's 4-3, heading into the 6th. Zay Rijo will be back on the mound for the Reds. And he will be facing Alan Trammell, Bill Freehan, and Ty Cobb. And here's the pitch, 32, off the batter's card, 35, is swung on and missed, strike 3. So for Jose Rijo, that's his 7th strikeout. He's so far gone 5 1/3, 4 runs on 6 hits, struck out 7, walked 5, and given up a home run. So Bill Freehan stepping up to bat. And the pitch, 22, be off the batter's card, 27 is MS. That's a fly ball to center field. There's 2 outs. It's going to bring up Cobb, the leadoff batter. Cobb in the game is 1 for 3. He's batting .571 early in this tournament. Pitch from Rio is 28. The roll of the batter is 28. That's going to be popped up on the infield. Joe Morgan calling for it. He makes the catch. The side is retired. Okay, let's see here. Lalich is heading back out onto the mound. It's probably going to be the last that we've seen of Rio. Probably going to be going to the pen to start the 7th inning. But Joe Morgan now coming to bat. Facing Mickey Lalich. He's 0 for 1 with an RBI. The pitch is 38, so that's X chart again. And let's see here. Let me just see. It's going to be RK. So that's going to be, well, if there were runners on base, they'd all be out, but that's not the case here. So it's going to be, just call it a line drive to second. Gehringer with the catch. And Morgan's retired. And that'll bring up Eric Davis, who is 0 for 2 today. Pitch to Davis, 25, so be off the batter's card, which is a 21. And that's going to be a base hit. So Davis is on base. Davis has some speed, so might have to keep an eye on him. Runner on first, one out. He's not going. 35. Batters rolls a 30, and that is going to be swung on and missed. Strike three. Klazuski goes down on strikes. And now Frank Robinson. Robinson today is 0 for 2. Runner on first. Two out. The pitch 23 is off the batter's card. The roll's a 31. 31 is going to be popped up on the infield. Gehringer calling for it, makes the catch, and the side is retired. So we are going to go to the seventh inning. Scores 4-3 Tigers. And yes, we are going to see a pitching change here. So we're going to the pen, and the Reds are going to be bringing in Rixey. And just something to note here. Pitcher's cards, you have a starting pitching rating, and you also have some that will have a find one reliever rating. For example, like Danny Graves here. Some pitchers, Clay Carroll reliever, Will Henry reliever. Some will have both. But being that this is an all-time all-star thing, I'm letting, and I think there's other people that do this as well, letting pitchers with starting pitching ratings, just call it a combined rating, that they can pitch, come out of the bullpen in relief as well. Just like, I mean, any pitcher can, but in this case, well, Rixey's not in the rotation for the Reds, so he can come out of the bullpen to pitch. So let's see. So he's coming out of the pen. He's going to be facing Gibson, Cash, and Greenberg. And Gibson has not been in this game. Let's see. Is there anyone I want to burn and maybe bring in right-handed pitcher? I don't think so. We're going to let get so pitch 21. It's going to be off the batter's card. 34. It's a lefty that's going to be hit into right field. It's going to be caught by Frank Robinson. And there's the first out of the inning. So Norm Cash. Cash is 1 for 2 with a home run and 2 RBIs in the game. Facing Rixey here. The pitch, 34, is going to be off the batter's card at 29. Against a lefty is going to be a double. So Cash wraps a double into center field. Davis will come over to field it, but Cash is into second standing with a double. And let me just make sure that I recalculate the defense total here. So that's 14, 18, 31, 40, 52, 61. So that doesn't change. Hank Greenberg coming to bat. Greenberg looking for his first hit of the tournament. He's 0 for 2 today. He drew a walk back in the 5th inning. So runner on second and 1 out. Pitch 35. So it's going to be off of the batter's card at 23. And that's a base hit. So Greenberg, base hit, is going to score Cash. And the Tigers stretched the lead back to 2 on the RBI single from Hank Greenberg. So 1 out. Al Kaline coming to bat. Runner on first. 1 out. 16 can be off the batter's card. A 34 is swung on and missed. Strike 3, and Kaline goes down for the 3rd time on strikes today. and that'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera is 0 for 3. So runner on first, 2 outs. Pitch 35. It's going to be off the batter's card. A 31 is a walk. And it's a lefty. Cabrera draws the walk. That's going to bring up Charlie Gehringer now. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. The pitch 33 is going to be a fly out or a pop out. This time it's going to be lifted into left field. Foster calling for it, makes the catch, and that'll end the top of the seventh. So we go to the bottom of the seventh here in Cincinnati. The score is Detroit 5, Reds 3, and we're going to see Lulich come out to pitch the seventh, but he's be on a short leash here. Let's see. Wait a minute. Yeah, no, that's correct. That's correct. Okay, so George Foster to lead things off here. Foster's 1 for 2, scored a run. Pitch is 38, so that's going to be X again. So now this roll results a hit by pitch. Now, when it comes off the X chart, a hit by pitch, there's a potential for injury. I think we saw that earlier in the game. Maybe not. Check for injury. There's no injury on the play, so Foster was hit by pitch. That'll bring up Johnny Bench. Tigers bullpen's starting to heat up here. Johnny Bench up to bat. Nobody out. Runner on first. And Bench hits a ball back to the pitcher, who will go to second for 1, and that is going to be it. They'll get 1. The Reds avoid the double play, but still not the ideal outcome there. So 1 out, runner on first. Johnny Bench on first. Joey Votto coming to bat. 1 out, bottom of the seventh. And the pitch 35. Check the batter's card 31. And that is going to be a home run for Joey Votto. Joey Votto 0 for 2 for the day. Cranks one out to right field. And the Reds have tied the ball game. And that is going to be it for Lulich. Maybe a batter too late. Obviously a batter too late. The Tigers can go to the pen. They're going to bring in Jack Morris. That's not going to change their defensive rating. Just make sure 11, 16, 30, 39, 38, 41, 42, 56. Yes, we're good. Okay, so for the Reds now, Barry Larkin, they've clawed their way back into this game after trailing at one point 4-1. They've now tied the game at 5. And Morris looking in. Morris is a right-hander. Sets and delivers, and that's going to be called strike 3. Larkin goes down on strikes. And that's going to bring up Tony Perez. And I might see a pinch hitter for Tony Perez. No, let's leave him in. Maybe one swing can give him the lead here. So Morris, Perez is 0 for 2 today. Walked and scored a run. The pitch is 15. off the batter's card at 24 is going to be a ground out to first base. So he grounds it down to Norm Cash. Cash will take it to the bag, and the side is retired. But we head to the eighth now, and we have a tie ball game. So let's go. Let's see. And Freehan. Okay, so Eperixi back out on the mound. He's got one inning so far, given up a run on 2 hits. He's facing Trammell. The pitch to Trammell, 16 off the batter's card, 24 is a base hit. So Trammell's on with a single. That'll bring up Bill Freehan. Runner on first, nobody out. Tie ball game. And Trammell is going to try to steal second here. Trammell looking to go, or he's running, and he's going to steal it. Wait a minute, gotta make sure he's a 2, but then he drops down to a 1, and that is, yep, it's going to be a stolen base. Trammell goes with nobody out here in the top of the eighth. He's now in scoring position with Bill Freehan coming to bat. And the pitch to Freehan, 25, 34 off the batter's card, is going to be swung on and missed, strike 3. Freehan goes down. Now Ty Cobb coming to bat. Cobb, 1 for 4. Runner on first, 1 out. Here's the pitch, 13 against Rixey. 13 is going to be an automatic out. So that's a ground ball to third. Trammell has to hold. Runner holds at second, and now Kirk Gibson coming to bat. 2 out, runner on second. Pitch to Gibson, 16, no, 31, is going to be rushed into center field. Davis looks up, it's gone. Kirk Gibson with a 2-run shot. And that's gonna be the end for Rixey here. He's gonna be coming out. So 7-5 now, Tigers here in the 8th inning. So the Reds are going to the pen. They're gonna be bringing Danny Graves here. Let's check something. And looks like Graves could go 2. We'll be facing Norm Cash. 2 outs here. Nobody on. Gibson with it. Just hitting a 2-run home run to give the Tigers a 7-5 lead here. Graves is a 0 for 18. 140. And no change on defense. So here's the pitch to Cash. 26 is going to be called strike 3. So Cash will go down on strikes. That ends the top of the 8th, but the Tigers jump back out to that 2-run lead. And Morris will head back on the mound. Be facing Morgan, Davis, and Klazuski. 39, it's open, 35 off the batter's card is a swing and a miss, strike 3. Morgan goes down on strikes. He's now 0 for 3 in the game. Bring up Eric Davis. Pitch to Davis is going to be ball 4, and he walks. So now the Reds with the tying run coming to bat. Klazuski. Kluszewski in. Kluszewski 1 for 3. Scored a run in the game. Jack Morris sets and delivers. 34. 37 is going to be a soft little liner out to second. Geringer's there, makes the catch for the second out. And that brings up Frank Robinson. Mr. Robinson, 22, and Morris walks him. So now the tying run is on base with George Foster coming to bat. Foster's 1 for 2 with a run scored today. Pitch to Foster, 15 off the batter's card. 33 is swung on and missed, strike 3. You see, if that was a lefty, that would have been a home run. So that's going to end the inning, the 8th inning. So we're heading to the 9th. Danny Graves will be heading back out onto the mound to face Hank Greenberg. And the pitch, 35. Off the batter's card, 35 is a strikeout. So Greenberg swings and misses and goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Now Al Kaline. Kaline's 0 for 3 today, walked and scored a run. The pitch is 12. It's not going to be an automatic out. So 39 is 2M. That's going to be a double. That's a double. If there was a runner on first, he would have he could try to score. Not an automatic advancement there. So runner on second, 1 out. Miguel Cabrera coming to bat. Cabrera's 0 for 3. And why don't we bring in a pinch hitter? Let's bring George Kell in to pinch hit. Let's take Cabrera out. You just get him in here. There we go. Wait a minute, where is he? There he is. Okay. Got him. And so now, 1 out, runner on second. Danny Graves looking in to face George Kell. The pitch, 36. 33 is going to be grounded to second. Runner will hold at second base. And that'll bring up Charlie Geringer with 2 outs. Geringer today is 1 for 4. Pitch 32 is open. The batter's card is 17. That is a pop-up to the catcher. Oops. And that is going to end the top of the 9th. So we head to the bottom of the 9th. Let's see here, the score. There's going to be a couple of changes here. Let's see. Okay, so Tigers are going to, well, we had George Kell pinch hit, so he's going to take over the duties at third base. And that will change the defensive outs to 12, 13, and 14. Automatic outs, that is. Willie Hernandez is coming in to pitch. He'll be facing Johnny Bench, Joey Votto, and Barry Larkin. So here's the pitch from Hernandez, 32, and he walks Bench. That's going to bring up Votto. Joey Votto tied the game last time at bat with a 2-run home run. Run on base. Votto digging in Here's the pitch from Hernandez, 37, off the batter's card, 34, is swung on and missed, strike three. Goes down and strikes. That's going to bring up Barry Larkin. Larkin, one out, runner on first. Pitch, 35. Swung on and missed, strike three. Larkin goes down on strikes. And now Tony Perez coming up. Perez with the ability to tie the game with one swing. Here's the pitch from Hernandez, 31, 16 is going to be a base hit. So Perez with a single. He's the tying run. He's at first. Joe Morgan coming to bat. Morgan's 0 for 3 today. Nice. We're going to pinch hit for Morgan with Brandon Phillips. I know that's probably sacrilege, but hey, it's just a game. So let's see. Cincinnati Reds. Okay, Phillips will be going in the number 3 spot. So let's put him in here. Let's take out Morgan. There we go. There's Brandon. 2 outs. First and second. Thinking, let me see. Let's also get a pinch runner for us. It's going to be Ed Roush. So here we go. Hernandez looking in, and the pitch, 31. Off the batter's card at 24 is going to be lifted into center field, fairly deep, but it's going to stay in the park. Cobb underneath it on the warning track, makes the catch, and the ball game is over. Boo Birds come out for the Reds as they drop a 7-5 decision against the Detroit Tigers. And that is going to do it from here. So thank you for tuning in. Please do hit the like and subscribe button, and I will be coming at you again soon with something either from this tournament or from my 1976 replay, which I am only like a week and a half out from finishing the season. All right. So thank you. Take care. Be well.